I'm putting my confidence in this company to provide me a service that I'm paying for it and I'm not getting anything out of it.
A Barnesville family is asking questions after a fire in their chimney and their home's fire alarm system did not detect it. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Andrea has the evening off. Valley News Team's Natalie Parsons visited the family's home and spoke with the homeowner about why she will never get another system like that again.
The Phillips have only been living in this house for about a month and a half now. Not only have they been busy moving their things in to make it their home, but now they have repairs to do from a fire that should have never happened.
My husband's phone alarm went off to get up for work, and I noticed that the house was filled with smoke, and none of the smoke detectors or fire detectors had gone off.
Flames were coming out of the exterior of the home caused by a crack in the chimney. Leah went to their Vivint fire panel to hit the fire response button to find that it did not work.
Last week we had our security system installed, and at the time that they came to install that, the gentleman who came to install it did not have all the proper equipment. One of those being the smoke and fire detector that activates with the alarm system.
The Phillips family brought their Vivint membership to their new home. They never had any issues with the company until the move, saying the new installations alone took 6 weeks. Leah tried reaching out to Vivint expressing her concerns, but they kept assuring her it would be taken care of.
And I got kind of a pat answer that they looked into it, someone was working with me.
When the Phillips needed help, Vivint was not there for them. And they now say, why have an alarm system when you can get reliable help just by dialing 911?
You know, my kids are they're precious gems. I want to get them out. I'm not going to stand and sit and press a button. I think that if you're hitting it several times, something should trigger. So hopefully they'll look at their equipment as a result of this and make some changes.
In Barnesville, Natalie Parsons, Valley News Live.
We reached out to Vivint Alarms and they told us they're looking into this incident. As for the Phillips, they say they will be terminating their services with the alarm company immediately. In Grand Forks, police and sheriff's departments there are alerting the public about 2 level 3 sex offenders living in the area. 51-year-old Donald Ormand Lee is living at 1706 North 6th Street in Grand Forks and has been deemed a high-risk offender. 70-year-old Kenneth Lynn Eide will also be moving to the Grand Forks area 3 months from now. He will be living at 4796 South 42nd Street starting on July 7th. One area mother says what she thought was a great daycare is not what's being advertised. Heidi Free says that ABC 123 in Dilworth says they're open until midnight, but her son had to be picked up by 6:30. And she says the staff basically kicked her son out because they claimed he cried the whole time he was there. While Free says she's frustrated, the daycare owner says that's not the case.
I think we have about 15 kids that stay past 9 p.m. or up until 9 p.m. And then there's about 3 or 4 that stay past that. I mean, I have the option to be open, but I'm not going to pay somebody to be here if there's no kids here.
Flick adds that sometimes a child's needs go above what she and her staff offer, and if that's the case, she recommends that the child get the care they need elsewhere. Minnesota lawmakers are aiming to ban a phone case that has been designed to look like a gun. Today, state officials say thousands of cell phone cases like these have been bought in Minnesota, and police fear what could happen if it's mistaken for an actual gun. If passed, it would be a petty misdemeanor to own, sell, or manufacture the cell phone gun case. That comes with a fine of $3,000. This also comes after concerns were being raised about a gun being manufactured in Minnesota that looks like a cell phone. It strikes early and the prognosis is poor, but Mayo Clinic researchers are working on a new way to combat one type of brain tumor. Glioma is a type of brain tumor that's diagnosed in people who are in their 30s and 40s. As it grows, it affects speaking, thinking, and even moving. And after only a few years, the patient dies. This type of tumor is practically impossible to completely remove from the brain surgically, but oncologist Dr. Jan Buckner and his team have discovered a way to increase the survival rate of those who have it.
No, it starts out with radiation, and that's usually Monday through Friday for about 5 weeks. And then a month later come in with the chemotherapy, most of which is chemotherapy pills.
The most common first sign of this tumor is a seizure. The cause of glioma is unknown. Well, folks are gathered around televisions tonight, either at home or at a favorite watering hole. They're watching the University of North Dakota skate against the Denver Pioneers. It's the second semifinal game at this year's Frozen Four in Tampa, Florida. This is a big night for Fighting Hawks fans who love their hockey team.
They've been jinxed the last few years, been there 4 times out of the last 7, if I'm not mistaken, and I think this is their year, so it's fantastic to see them there, and I wish I was there.
After a scoreless first period, these fans had reasons to cheer in the second period when UND scored, went up 1-0. Not long after that, they went up 2-0. Denver has since scored, so the score is 2-1. Beth will be in sports with more, and Alex Egan will report live from Tampa. Minnesota residents without a high school diploma are now able to take the GED test for free for the next several months. Governor Mark Dayton announced that additional federal funding will allow up to 2,000 people in the state to take the GED test for free through July 2016. The governor's proposed supplemental budget this year includes $120,000 in state funding that would keep the test free into 2017. The GED test is made up of 4 subject areas. In total, it costs $120. Local high school students are getting the chance to sing in front of 5,000 people this weekend. The Holly Pop Singers earned a chance to sing a song with the legendary band Foreigner. They beat out several other schools in the area. We caught up with them during practice this morning. Their director says it wouldn't have been possible without the students' hard work and the overwhelming community support. The sold-out Foreigner concert is this Sunday at Shields Arena. The Holly Group will be on stage to sing the hit, I Want to Know What Love Is. Foreigner also donated $500 to the Holly Choir. Fighting homelessness and poverty in our community can take many forms. Well, today, one of those forms developed out of an idea within a group of young women. The idea, fill a van with personal items for people in need. And fill they did, to the brim and then some. Hundreds of bottles, boxes, and brushes are now on their way to help people in need. Christian Anderson is one of the people in the United Way's 35 and Under Women's Leadership Program. That's the group that came up with the idea to fill the van with toiletries, and she was busy today along with other members of her group bringing their idea to life.
When we had, the Great Plains Food Bank here and doing a roundtable with us, and we asked what can we do to help, and they said toiletries, we just knew that we're 35 strong and we can make a huge impact.
In all, more than 1,600 pounds of toiletries were collected. Well, the Marine Corps came to West Fargo, giving local high school students there and their families a glimpse of what boot camp is like. They wasted no time today. Drill instructors wanting students to realize boot camp is not an impossible task. It can be challenging, but it can be completed. Recruiters say it's events like these that help get more young men and women enthusiastic about signing up.
We usually get 99% in the past. Even people that have just been guests that haven't actually enlisted yet come up to me afterwards and said that they were on the fence before, but now this is something that they really want to do.
There'll be 2 more mini boot camps this week, and you can find out more information at our website, valleynewslive.com.